Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To the scattered, hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 12:9, known as the speckled birds. This is not a black thing. I'm the disciple of Parium, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be titled John 1:11, His own received him not. So this is John 1:11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. Now this is not speaking of all of Israel, because simply we know that at that time that Yahweh Shai was on earth, the northern tribes, or the 10 tribes of Israel, were not in the land, and they were taken away captives by the Assyrians. Now we go to the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 53. And this is where Yahweh Shai revisits Nazareth. And it reads, And it came to pass that when Yahweh Shai had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in the synagogues, insomuch that they were astonished, and said, Whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works? So they're like, and you read the NLT, it says, where does he, get this wisdom and the power to do miracles? Is this not the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph and Simon and Judas? They're like, yo, isn't this, Ray Ray, the son of whoever, It's like when we're amongst our own family, they're like, oh, that's just Glenn, it's just whoever, It's verse 56. And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then have this man all these things? And when were offended, and they were offended in him. But Yahweh Shai said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own house, and in his own. Save in his own country and in his own house. So it says the prophet is honored everywhere in NLT, except his own hometown and among his own family. Verse 58, and he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. As a matter of fact, when you go up to verse 54, Slaki, it reads, He returned to Nazareth, his hometown, where he taught there in the synagogues. So this is what John 1 is speaking of. Okay? You have the same account in Mark's chapter 6, 1 through 6. You see, it says, and he went out of it from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. Again, he left that part of the country and returned with his disciples to Nazareth, his hometown. All right. And again, this is the same account. And again, it reads out right here, slightly different. But Yahweh Shai said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, but in his own country and among his own kin and in his own house. Okay? This is not everybody. So that verse 4 coincides with Matthew 13 and 57. And many of the Jews, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, by the time, believed in the Lord. Okay, so that's John 2:11. This beginning of miracles did Yahushua in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him. Let's go to John 4:39. It says, and many of the Samaritans of the city believed on him for the saying of the woman which testified, and he told me all that ever I did. All right, we know that woman was not an Israelite. Okay. Let's go to John 7. Verse 25. It says, then said some of them in Jerusalem, is not this he whom they seek to kill? But lo, he speak boldly, and he said nothing unto him. Do the rulers know indeed that this is the very Hamashiach? Howbeit we know this man whence he is, but when Hamashiach cometh, no man knoweth whence he is. Then cried Yahushua in the temple, as he taught, saying, ye both know me, and ye know when I am, and I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he hath sent me. Verse 30. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. And many of the people believed on him, and said, when Hamashiach cometh, will he do more miracles than these which this man hath done? Okay. Let's go to John 8, verse 28. (28-31). Then said Yahushua unto them, when ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall ye know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father hath taught me, I spake these things. And he that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. As he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. All right. Now let's go to John 11:45. This is where the plot was trying to kill Yahushua. And many of the Jews that came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did, Yahushua did, believed on him. Verse 46, but some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahushua had done. Then gathered the chief priests of the Pharisees in council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. So basically they're saying, on the NLT is if we allow him to go on like this, soon everyone will believe in him. Then the Roman army will come and destroy both our temple and our nation. Okay? So so there were those that did believe on Yahweh Shai. Now let's go to the book of Ephesians chapter 1. And all this is speaking, in Ephesians is speaking about the Israelite foreigners. And read the NOT. It says, this letter is from Paul, chosen by the will of Yahweh to be an apostle of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. I am writing to Yahweh's holy people in Ephesus, who are faithful followers of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Jump down verse 4 and 5. According as he had chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. That's that Deuteronomy 7 and 6 right there. It says, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahweh Shai, Christ Hamashiach, to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. And then that adoption, I'm going to revisit this, but it goes into, I believe it's Hiawasia is the Greek word. And Strong's 5206. And its relationship with Yahweh was pleased to establish between himself and the Israelites in preference to all other nations. In preference to all other nations. Okay? So, let's go to Ephesians 2, 11 to 13. It says, wherefore, remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. So yes, the Israelites were called Gentiles. Okay? And you can find that in 1 Corinthians, I believe it's 12 and 2. It says, ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. And then this is, again, this history is in the book of Maccabees. You can read that. I think it's First Maccabees, I think 3 and 48 or something like that. But I could be mistaken, but I know it's in the book of Maccabees. So they were lost in that Gentile state of mind. Go to Romans 2, I believe it's 24 and 25. It says, for the name of Yahweh is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written. For circumcision verily profiteth, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. So only Israelites were circumcised. They went outside the law. So let's go to Ephesians 2 and 14. Oh, it's lucky. Actually, let's read verse 12. That at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh in the world. But now is Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Hamashiach. For he is our peace, who have made both one and hath broken down the middle wall or partition between us. Okay? And you see that, it's our peace, both one, us, All right, personal pronouns. So these are Israelites from the Holy Land and Israelite foreigners, both being brought together. As a matter of fact, when you actually pull verse 14, and I'll show you real quick how to do this, where it says both one, okay, you go down to Ezekiel 37, 19, and 20, and I'll read it. Say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, right, which is in the hand of Ephraim and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be in one in mine in hand. And the sticks wherein thou writest shall be thine hand before their eyes. So that's, the tribes coming together on one stick. And that middle wall partition. Right here, you see that, right? I'm gonna pull Acts 10 and 28. All right. This is speaking of Cornelius in Peter's vision. And he said unto them, ye know that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But Yahweh have showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. And that word another nation is a compound word. All right. It's alaf fulay. But the word that we're looking for is fulay. All right. And in the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. Can't make this up. These are cross references. Okay. They're matching. In the spirit, have it within our apostles and elders to teach this correctly. All right, now let's go to Galatians 4. And we read 4 and 5. But when the fullness of the time was come, Yahweh sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law. Okay. And, this is the elder from, I want to say it's Baltimore. And nobody's ever answered this, but you can't say. So basically what he says is, so you mean to tell me that the Holy Spirit impregnated Mary and thought to, bring himself back? Make that make sense. All right. Spirits, angels, that, they're perfect. They don't have sex with people. And then secondly, if that were the case, Mary was made on, Yahweh Shai here, it says made of a woman under the law. So you mean to tell me that the spirit broke the law and just committed adultery? Come on now. So yeah, that don't make no sense. Verse 5, it says to redeem them that were under the law. I believe that was the Israelites. Oh, yes. That we might receive the adoption of son. Again, adoption goes to huasia, right? It's the same word right here. All right. And it says the relationship between which Yahweh had pleased to establish between himself and the Israelites in preference to the other nations. Now, I'm going to finish off in Romans chapter 9, 3-5. This is Paul speaking, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, from my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Okay? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promises. whose are the fathers, and of whom of as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Okay? So this has been a breakdown of John 1 and 11. His own received him not. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to say Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom to Akim Akwath. Shalom. On to the next.